Hello. Oh my
Hi,
gosh, I need
Latara.
to. Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Sorry for the delay. I couldn't find you, and I thought, what's going on here? And so, anyway, finally got in.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I forgot to send out an email reminder, so I just sent it out.
Yeah, it just popped up, and I said, "Oh, there's Latara."
And how are you, Selma?
I'm well, thank you. Oh, sorry. I have somebody who shouldn't be where they
Aw,
are.
he's welcome as well.
Yes. I'm seeing how they switched everything. Oh, no,
Welcome.
no. What happened here? My cat did something to my. It's like when the cat walks on your keyboard and suddenly your
Uh-huh.
keyboard goes, ah.
Yep, they want to be
Yeah,
involved.
yeah.
So I would love to hear from you guys. Do you have a manifestation story? A time in your life that you were able to conjure something out of nowhere? I'd love to hear.
Yes, actually, I do. Um,
Uh-huh.
so,
I know Patty does.
oh, okay. So you know hers.
No,
Do
go
you
ahead,
mind if,
Selma. You can start. You can start us
oh,
off.
okay. So, uh, I was working at a workplace, and this was like 20 years ago. And I learned about how to become a virtual assistant through this. There was a class that was going to be given, but it was actually one of those teleconference calls, because at that time there
Mhm.
was no video calls. It was going to cost $900. I didn't have
Wow.
$900. So I'm like, okay, God, I need $900. The next day I'm at work and I'm listening to the radio station, and there is a thing called Beat the Bank. It was from Chum FM. I lived in Ontario at the time. And the way the game works is that you have to beat the bank, meaning the bell of the bank thing, so that if it says 700 and you say okay, that's good, and the next one is the bell, you win your $700. So I
Wow.
got on the radio and went through, and it went four times, and the fourth number was $900. I was like, well, that's all I need. So I
Wow.
stopped. The next number was $1,500. The one after that was the bell. So I won my $900. So I got the money
Awesome.
and I took the teleconference call. So there's
Wow.
manifestation. It worked.
Wonderful. I love that. And Patty, would you love to share yours?
Sure. I was born a manifester, and most everything that I touched throughout my life, I mean, up until 66 years old, um, last year,
Oh my goodness.
I received a message. I started to paint a 5x7 card, and I got this major download that said, "This is your card deck." And I said, "Oh, okay." So then I proceeded to paint 52 cards, and I designed them, and Gotara jumped in there to assist me, and I wasn't sure what I needed, how I needed it, and ultimately I produced them, had them printed, and they were out by my deadline, which was before Christmas. And I am almost sold out. I
Wow.
only have a few decks left, and for the group here, if anyone wants to purchase, I'm not selling, Latara, you know how we are. Um,
You could
but
put your
just,
link, you could share your link.
okay.
I'm totally down for letting people grab their own deck because your story is so amazing and you just powered through it. You didn't know what you were doing, but you were so focused. I just saw you create this deck out of nowhere. So that's
Yeah, it's so true. And what's amazing is that yeah, and all the elements, all the pieces, well, in fact, one of the series is called Element Energy. and everything just fell together. It was supposed to happen. And mainly, I mean, my whole why is to infuse the world with more color, inspiration, fun, and joy. And it's what I'm about. And I just, and the cards, I mean, the response that I'm getting from that manifestation is truly remarkable. I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised. I think I'm still a little bit, I can still feel a little bit of the flutter in my core because I'm working on a new manifestation, and in fact, I'm going to put it out there.
Okay.
Is that I have an art store, and so I need to upload. So I'm asking the universe here on your show. I need to. I need. I'm My next step is to upload all of my paintings along with my other paintings. I'm putting the card deck paintings up there with the images so that they can be posted. My site is live, but it's only got the card link. So I'm manifesting a photographer, somebody who can help me on a limited budget, but create some really cool prints. I mean,
Awesome.
images.
I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Michael, hello, are you there? Ling, are you there?
Michael Post.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Hi, beautiful souls.
Hello.
Hi. Is Alice with you?
No, she's not. She's working. She's at the real estate.
Okay.
She's doing her magic.
Is she manifesting? I love it.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Awesome. You can't come on camera?
Well, I'm a little under the weather right now, but I mean,
Okay. No
yeah.
worries. No worries at all. Okay. So we were just sharing our manifestation stories. Do you have anything that you would like to share? Your own personal manifestation experience?
Actually, Ali and I were just talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Something so simple, but thank you so much for the opportunity, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Just keeping it super, super short and simple is that Ali and I were talking yesterday, and we were going through some things, and as we all are, and she was saying that I would go through this all over again 10 times, and I actually said it the day before. So we were talking about is when you can see your life, and you could be willing to go through all the pain and the suffering, whatever you went through, and have the gratitude to be in such a place where it's like, I'll go through this 100 times. And I was talking to my wife, and we were saying it's so easy to say that, but when we're in the middle of it, it's like this that I'm going through is like such a small storm compared to where I was. So my point is to be in such of a state of peace, such in a state of joy. And you both know we weren't manifesting the things or the courses, all that successful stuff that people talk about. We manifested a peace of mind unlike any other that we can ever even imagine. And now the abundance is coming, so it's like we're manifesting from a strong foundation, which to me is, I wouldn't trade that for the world. And to really come full circle and say that it's not the things that matter. It's when so many people are losing their grasp on reality. My manifestation is that my vibration is in peak condition. And that to me is like the gold. Like it's the golden age, right? It's the manifestation of what the masters talked about. No matter what age or time of the timeline, there could be wars, there could be famine, but the masters were at peace, inner peace. And people, it kind of reminds me of a video that I watched the other day. It says, what's the greatest miracle you've seen? And I can link the video here because I highly recommend it. And they were talking about all these manifestations. And then the monk says, well, what is the thing that's most needed in the world right now? Transformation of a human consciousness. And, people will say levitate, all these different things. Like they were talking about like, walk through walls, things like that. But he says, the world needs your transformation of your own mind. So, I mean, I know everyone here is about that. And that's what I wanted to share, that if you're transforming your mind, you are the miracle that we've been waiting for, that we've been praying for.
Right.
And that to me is the great miracle, magic, medicine. When you can use your own energy and transform yourself, like even though I'm going through this cold, I'll come on the camera. Give me 1 second.
Mhm.
Even though you're going through this, hi. So even though that I'm going through this, the whatever we want to call it, I don't give labels, but under the weather, my body is processing. But at the same time, it's strengthening its immune system. So I'm honoring the body and I'm loving it where it's at, because no lie, girls, that I don't know if there's any guys here, but no lie, girls, that I feel so in love, so alive, so like rejuvenated, but I'm watching my body process. And yes, I can feel my throat, um, things like that. But it's like I'm in such a state that I'm enjoying the process, which I've done it before. But this state that I'm in and seeing like all the downloading of awareness that's coming through, people that are waking up. This is the time that we prayed for, that we worked for. Because when we first met, girls, it was like this was barely a thing coming out, and to see all of us coming together to share what really matters at the heart, because the heart is what really matters. If we have the things, but we're carrying grudges and you know all these different things, it doesn't matter. We're poor. We're really poor. So to see us coming from a richness state of mindset, of heart set, of of being present with ourselves is such a beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
that's my manifestation. And yes,
Wonderful. Love it.
on top of that, we manifested the money. My wife is
Good.
selling homes. We manifested more students. Um, the water going. Um, but the money to me is great, but it's like, oh, and our families are signing up as students. So it's like when people said no and they were crazy, it's like the whole timeline is shifting. It's like it's
Wonderful.
beautiful
Yes.
thing. So that's my manifestation.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about shifting your timeline and everything. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I only gave us an hour to go through this. And then I was like, I have so much stuff here. I'm going to go over an hour and I'm sorry in advance. I'll send every one of you a replay if you can't make it to the very end, like if you have another engagement after this, because I want to respect your time. But yeah, I'm just going to try to go through as much stuff as I can in a short amount of time. And I do want to acknowledge you, Michael, on what you were saying, because we could be rich, but we can be spiritually poor and still not have a fulfilling life. So I love that you're integrating that into your richness. It's not just monetary things. It's feeling joyful in your life and fulfilled. So thank you so much for being here. This is the power of manifestation. Discover the secret methods of creating your dream life in this awesome free virtual event. So thank you so much for being here. Manifestation is the process of turning thoughts or desires into tangible reality through aligning beliefs, thoughts, and actions. All we have is this moment, but remember, you have all of the power of the universe in this moment. We have all of the past and all of the future that we have no control over, but in this very moment, we have the power of the universe at our fingertips. So the first part of manifestation is what we speak into existence. And this is, I'm calling incantation. And whoops, oh my goodness. Okay, incantation, magical recitation of words, phrases, or sounds believed to have mystical or supernatural powers, often used to invoke or bring about specific effects, such as casting a spell. Now, this word sounds a little bit witchy, but this can be used universally. You could be reading verses of the Bible. You can be reading your own words and speaking your own words, and you could still have the same power. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a spell, but however you want to perceive this, we do have power in our words. So we can speak positive or negative things into our lives with the words we use on a regular basis. And I wanted to share a story on the screen here. It is a diamond ring, and this is very similar to a ring that my husband's grandmother gave me. It was her wedding ring, and it's this beautiful marquee diamond ring, and we took it to the cleaners, and they said these are the purest diamonds we've ever seen, and this thing is probably worth $25,000, but because it was a family heirloom, it's priceless. And unbeknownst to me, my husband, for some reason, decided to put this ring instead of one of those small, like the 35 millimeter film canisters that, the old fashioned opaque canisters. And he put it inside of that, and it was in a drawer. And I was cleaning out the drawer, and I picked it up and I rattled it around, and I heard something rattling inside of it. And on any other occasion, my curiosity would have gotten the best of me and I would have opened it. But for some reason, a voice in my head told me not to open it. And I ended up throwing it in the trash. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks later, I asked my husband, where did he put it? And he put it in, and he said it was in a film canister. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I did that. So it took me a really long time to trust my intuition, because that voice in my head I took to mean is my intuition. So I'm like, why would my intuition betray me like that? And I realized that I programmed my intuition to help me throw it away. And here's how. Every single time when I would talk to my husband about actually getting a really nice wedding ring, I kept telling him, I don't want a fancy ring. I would rather you spent the money on a new car or a new washer and dryer or a nice vacation or something. Don't spend all this money on jewelry for me. And here's the kicker. I even told him I would probably end up losing it anyway. And that is exactly what happened. I programmed myself to lose the ring for me. And all my intuition was doing was it was trying to give me exactly what I was calling into existence through what I was saying. So the reason why I'm sharing this story is because we can conjure things into our life that we don't want, because we keep saying, oh, I'm sick and tired of this, or this always happens to me, or I have the worst luck, or why does this keep on happening to me? And you might be saying things that seem real to you right now. You're saying, oh, I feel so drained, I feel overwhelmed, I'm tired of this. And you're literally causing a negative feedback loop where you keep getting stuck inside of the same things that you're already experiencing because you're just talking about them. So this is why I want to give you a challenge, and that is, over the course of the next week, pay attention to the words you're using in your regular conversations with people and see if you're using these negative words, because every single time you keep on reinforcing the same type of experience over and over again. So just pay attention to what you're saying, because you are programming your subconscious to reinforce those things that you're saying. So the incantation can be used negatively or positively. So the more you're aware of what you're saying, the more you can program the positive things that you want in your life. The next word is, let's see if I can get us out of the way here. Creation. Creation is the process of bringing something into existence, often involving the formation or production of something new, whether tangible or abstract, through imaginative, artistic, or divine means. And Patty, yours is a perfect example of creating your own card deck. So I wanted to share with you a couple of examples of my personal experience in how I was able to use creation to form the events in my life. On the left side here, you'll see a painting that I did of Baja, California, the Cabos, the arch, the famous arch that goes over the ocean. And I saw this picture in the first issue of Dream Homes magazine that I ever saw. So I picked up the magazine. It had an article about Baja, and I took that picture and I painted a picture of it. Very shortly after that, I got hired to be an employee working for Dream Homes magazine, and I ended up working there for 18 years. And in my wildest dreams, I wouldn't have imagined that I would be working for Dream Homes, but I feel like setting that focus for a set amount of time so I could paint this picture was me channeling that into existence. And on the right here, you'll see the cover of Dream Homes magazine. This was my very first cover that I did because I'm also a photographer. And my boss, as a challenge for when I first got employed there, was he and I were both going to go shoot this $50 million property on the La Jolla shores and see which one of us got the cover. And I won the contest, and he said, "Okay, you're hired." So that was really fun to bring into existence. Another example was I was having difficulty conceiving, and I painted the picture on the left, which is my rendition of the famous classical painting, The Annunciation, where the archangel Gabriel came to Mary and told her that she was going to bear Jesus Christ as her child. And something that I thought was really profound about that part of the Bible was this statement: "No word shall be impossible with God." And after I painted this painting, I became pregnant with my daughter. She is now 8. She is the light of my life, and I feel like I can attribute painting this painting to being able to conceive. You can take it for however you want to. This is my personal interpretation of my experiences, but thank you, Patty. Okay, so here's yet another example. And I was introduced to Forbes Riley. I don't know if you know her, but she is the queen of pitch. She is the millionaire coach. She teaches how to sell without selling. And I jumped into her world because I didn't know how to sell. And when I left Dream Homes and I started my own business, I realized I really need to learn how to sell. And I'm going to all these networking events and I'm stumbling on my words going, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I figured I needed her help. So I jumped into her world, and she has this weekly mastermind. And one of the weekly masterminds was a talent show because she likes to do fun things like that. And I drew this portrait of her to bring to the talent show. And shortly after I did that, I got her as my keynote speaker for my summit. So don't underestimate how powerful manifestation could be. Even if you think it's impossible, go for it anyway, because if you don't go for it, it's definitely a no. If you try, then there's a chance that it's a yes. And the amazing things that will happen to you is it will blow your mind if you just go for it and believe that it's possible. So the next, let me see if I can get our faces out of the way here. Okay, so the next one is what you write into existence. And this is inscription. So write words in a book, write a journal, have a vision journal or a dream journal or whatever you want to call it, because what you write can clearly, if you clearly define what you want to manifest, writing it down gives you power. There's something that goes on in the mind. I don't know if Patty can more clearly articulate this than me, because I don't even know what goes on behind the scenes. All I know is you can write stuff down and it will happen. So another challenge for you, in addition to being mindful of words you say, I want you to start a vision journal if you don't already, and write down your dream life, what you want in your life. Write all the positive things that you want in your life, because I know some people say journal, and sometimes when you're journaling, you're talking about, the crap in your head and all these negative experiences because you want to write it down. That's fine, but have a specific journal that's all the good stuff that you want in your life. And you may not believe me, but try this out for a extended period of time, not just once and say, oh, well, that didn't work. Try it for an extended period of time, and I guarantee that what you write down will affect your life. So the next one, oh, sorry. I do have a story about inscription. So when I was looking for my dream home, my husband and I, we had written down a list of all the things we wanted in a house. We wanted, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, at least 1,500 square feet. We want acreage. We want trees. We want a view. We want privacy. We want water running through the property. Like we got so detailed, and we got this house. The house you see on the lower left corner, that was our dream house. And if you see the picture in the upper right corner, imagine that when we first moved into this house, you did not see that view. All you saw was a wall of trees. Now, silver lining, because there was a beetle infestation that killed all of the trees, and they all just fell down or got cut down one by one. And slowly over time, we ended up getting this mountain view. And the mountain view was the one thing on that list that we did not get with this house. And I was thinking I was compromising, but over time, we actually ended up getting the view. And I don't know if you can see this on the bottom here in the lower right corner. Oh, whoopsie. Didn't mean to go forward. In the lower right corner, you can see the view looks like a Bob Ross painting, which is really cool because my aunt and my mother were big Bob Ross enthusiasts, and all around my house there's paintings that look just like this, where you have like the shabby old cabin in the distance and the mountain view and the sunset surrounded by trees. So it's just so cool that I feel like I manifested this view. And Michael could attest to the fact that there was a running stream on that property, which is weird and very rare in San Diego. So anyway, so the next one is the law of vibrational energy, or the law of vibration, or however you want to say it. This is what we feel into existence. So everything in the universe, including thoughts, feelings, and physical objects, is in a constant state of vibration, and these vibrations influence the energetic frequency of one's experiences and surroundings. Okay, so Dr. Emoto, I don't know if you know about Dr. Emoto, but they featured him on What the Bleep Do We Know? And I think maybe it was on The Secret, if you saw either of those. And he did this experiment where he took containers of water with different words labeling each container, and they said different words like thank you, love, I hate you, and each of these then he took a drop of water out of each of these containers and froze it, and then he took microscopic photos of the results, and this is the word thank you. It's a very elegant, symmetrical, beautiful snowflake looking image. And he did other ones like I hate you, and those were like just disgusting looking blobs. And because of those words they kind of imbued their essence and their vibration into the water, they affected how the crystals grew. So I created the manifestation mugs, because if you're drinking coffee every day out of the same mug, then I wanted to have these vibrationally high words on the mug so that you're internalizing these vibrations. And this is a chart of the vibrations from high to low. So you start out at the very top, it's enlightenment, joy, love, gratitude, like you were saying, Michael. Abundance, generosity, confidence, and as you go down lower and lower, it's you start going to optimism, motivation, and then hope and neutrality and relief, contentment. And then actually, as you start going down lower in the vibrations, you start getting into the negative emotions like apathy, impatience, pessimism, frustration, irritation, anger. And then at the very, very bottom, you start getting into things like fear, grief, guilt, anxiety. At the very, very bottom, worthlessness, shame, rage, and depression. So this is why it's very important for you to stay in a higher state of vibration. So if you're experiencing negative emotions on a regular basis, it's another one of those feedback loops where you get more of the same. So that's why you want to, if you have to, it's okay to use external resources to try to get yourself into a higher vibrational state. And this is kind of tied to reverberation. Silly Zoom has all these things in the way here. Okay. So the persistence of sound echoes. Oh my goodness. Whoopsie. Oh, discombobulating here. Okay, let's see if I can get this out of the way. Okay, the persistence of sound echoes or the continuing effects of an event or action over time throughout one's consciousness, potentially influencing the realization of desired outcomes. So this is what we hear into existence. And the cool thing about this is, so here's when we have throughout the day, we experience different brain waves. So we can have the gamma waves, which are heightened awareness, beta, problem solving, alpha, relaxed reflection. Theta is good for meditation and creativity. And then when we're sleeping, we experience delta. So throughout the day, we're always experiencing all these different brain waves. So the cool thing about this is that you can, again, externally influence the types of brain waves that you're experiencing in any given moment. So things that you can do is you can look up YouTube videos and just listen to these videos and or even find some music on an MP3 or something. And some keywords that you can use to look up these types of sound frequencies that can help you change your brainwaves are things like holosync, binaural beats, healing frequencies, third eye activation, brain entrainment music, and even subliminal affirmations. And I created a 6-minute video that's kind of like a body tune-up type of video where you listen to theta music. And I will share with you how to get a hold of that at the end of this presentation. So the next one is what we think into existence. And this is intention. It's the conscious and purposeful determination to achieve a specific goal or outcome involving a focused and directed effort towards its realization. And I think that this goes in tandem with things like creation, because when you're creating, you're very focused on that specific thing for an extended period of time, which is what causes change in your reality. So this actually goes hand in hand with vision. So in order to have a powerful intention, you have to have a very clear vision of what you want. And vision is the ability, if I can get us out of the way here. Oopsie, it's going backwards. Okay, so vision is the ability to imagine, plan, or anticipate future events or possibilities, often represented by a clear and inspiring mental image guiding one's actions towards a desired outcome. So next is visualization. Visualization is the mental process of forming vivid and detailed images or scenes in one's mind, employed as a technique for enhancing focus, motivation, and manifestation of desired goals and outcomes. And this is what we see into existence. So as you can see, we're kind of going through all of the senses, and that's really what it boils down to, is getting everything dialed in and in tandem with each other and aligned. And as far as visualization goes, I love guided meditations, and here's why. If you're just meditating, it's very, very difficult to keep your mind from wandering. But if you have a guided meditation, you can be passively listening to the person's voice as they're walking you through these rich, detailed, imaginary scenes, and it's directing your focus on a certain activity, a certain train of thought. So I love guided meditations. And in fact, I created a guided meditation. And I initially created it for myself, and I sent the link to it to a bunch of my close relatives. And my sister said, the world has to hear this. The world has to see this. So I made it publicly available. So I listened to this meditation for 30 days straight, every single day. And the opportunity for a substantial windfall of money came into my life. Like before I started listening to this, that was not a possibility. It wasn't on the horizon. It was not to be seen anywhere. And then after the 30 days, it was just in the forefront of existence, and it just seemed to materialize out of nowhere. So I'm not going to say exactly how much it is because I don't want to be a target or anything, but it was a substantial amount of money, and it was just totally out of the blue, totally unexpected. So I would strongly encourage you to listen to guided meditations consistently, because if you do any of these things just once, it's probably not going to be effective. But to do things sustained over time is where you really get the momentum of being able to powerfully manifest.
Can you recommend any? I mean, I know you have yours, and
Yes.
are there now the one that gave you the money,
Mm-hmm.
was that yours that you listened
Yes.
to? Okay.
Yes. I recorded it and then I listened to my own guided meditation,
Okay.
which it was an experiment because I didn't know if it was going to be effective. But I figured instead of just trying to like think the words in my mind, I figured I would just create it for myself, and it worked. So, and the beauty about that video that I created is that it's like the intention of it is financial abundance, but like at the end of it, I feel blissful. So it's also like just getting in a really good vibrational state as well. So
Are there different types of meditations that focus on different items in your life? Like money, health, wealth, I guess.
yeah, that's a really good question. And I might have to follow up with you because I have a like a playlist of YouTube videos that I've collected. They're not mine, but just, I've
Mhm.
oh, this one's really awesome, so I'm going to add it to my playlist. So, if you want me to, I can actually share that with you. So,
Yeah,
at
I'll
the end
put
of this,
my yeah, I'll put well, if you're going to share this and you have our email addresses, that's perfect. Or I can put my email address in the chat
okay,
box.
yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
good. And that will actually, if it's in the chat, then I'll or just chat, message me directly inside of the chat, I think, and that will
Yeah.
remind me to follow up with you on that one. That's a good question.
Hey, Latera, can I jump in real quick?
Sure, yeah.
One thing that I'll tell you is that's a very powerful thing that you did. Because when you record with yourself, there's no filters. You're not listening to anybody else, and it's
Mhm.
a powerful way to program your superconscious. There's a conscious, there's a subconscious, and then there's a superconscious. And the more you work on your energy, your superconscious starts listening to you. So when you record your own voice, the superconscious is more active. It's more because it wants like just the fact that you're alive, your superconscious is doing everything to give you life. So it wants to give you everything that your heart's desire. So when you programmed your meditation, and because now you're believing it, now your energy is vibrating through your meditation. So now your meditation becomes 10 times as powerful as just for you, which is amazing. Congratulations. I want to listen to that meditation. And Ali and I are going to be creating our own meditation. So that's in the future. We're doing that in
Brilliant.
the or two.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. That's such a great idea. And I didn't even consider that my own meditation is more powerful for me. So maybe if other people listen to this, they might not get the same results I did, but that's a really
No,
good
no,
point.
Sarah,
But
Sarah.
but what actually from what he said, if we listen to yours, we could emulate it and record it in our own voice, and then it
Yeah.
would be more powerful for us. But sometimes you need the guidance. Just like you said, there's guided meditations. If we
Mhm.
have sort of a template for us to actually read, then it might work better for us because we're doing it in our own voices, as he said.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think,
Very
and
good
I think
point.
the key too, another important key is I'm sure when Latera did this, her intention was uh because it's got to be yin and yang in order to affect reality. You have to come from both polarities. So when somebody is going through a breakthrough or something, they're usually like at the brink of something, but yet they're excited for something. Because when you tap into those two hemispheres, you're bringing the whole essence of your being into the meditation. So that's what it sounds like to me. I can't say it is or it isn't, but usually that's when things happen. The other thing is too, is because you did that meditation and because you did it for 30 days, like you imbued your meditation with your dedication.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to go there, but to keep it super simple, that way it's makes sense, is that like believe that your meditation works because it worked for you, because you are vibrating that working, not because you can't specifically make it work for anybody else. It's their own intention, it's their own like whatever their situation is. And to make this make more sense, really simple, when people use plant medicine and they're on drugs and they're, you know, they're in the back, they're in the deepest, darkest places, the medicine works because they're like at their last straw, they're open. But then you have other people that use plant medicine, but they're just trying to get the spiritual path and, you know, they're trying to force things to happen. It doesn't really work. So it's finding the common denominator, that it's your intention, like you said in your description, and just really like you're doing it from your heart. It's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it and who you're doing it with. Because the ego can get in the way and say, I need to do it because I need to change this. Okay, then you don't think you could change that. So then you saying I need to do it because I need to change this, instead of saying, look, my intention is this, I'm surrendering to the force, to source, to the divine, and then just surrendering to that experience. And I think that's why it worked for you, because you surrendered to your own self, which is magical. So great job.
I love that. I love that. And you brought up a really good point, and that is when you're trying to manifest, you might be pulling in the negative energy of the not having, which is causing you to not be able to manifest. And in all of these instances where I was telling my personal stories, it did not feel like effort. It just flowed effortlessly. It came out of nowhere. It just sort of happened, even though it was something that I was intentional about. I didn't know how it was going to happen or when it was going to happen or if it was going to happen. I just allowed it to happen. And I was open to the possibility of it happening. So thank you for that input. And welcome, Kathy. Nice to see you. All right.
Nice
So
to see you as well. I was muted.
no worries. It's so lovely to see you. It's been a while. I think we've all been very busy. So anyway, so the next is what we be into existence. And this one sounds grammatically incorrect, but hear me out. This is the law of attraction. Like attracts like, suggesting that the energy and thoughts individuals emit into the universe will attract similar energies and thoughts, ultimately shaping their reality. So how you're being is very important. You cannot fool the universe. Even if you're trying to pretend to be something on the outside, if you're trying to look like a good person on the outside and inside you have rage and hate, it's not going to work. So you literally need to be aligned with what you want to receive from the universe. And this is a beautiful quote. This is one of my favorite quotes from Mahatma Gandhi, and it is, be the change that you wish to see in the world. There's a lot of different things I want to speak about this. So one is, when I was doing research on manifestation, I realized that an alternate definition of manifestation is protest, a demonstration, the people walking in the streets with signs and rallying. That is also a definition of the word manifestation. And think about it. When you get a group of people, a group consciousness, all in line with the same core values, all wanting the same change in the world, that is when you see huge changes in politics, in the way things are structured, in the way laws are made. So we can affect huge change when we band together in the name of these certain core beliefs. And this is what Mahatma Gandhi was able to do. And I'm not going to go into the story of his whole story, because it's involved and it's profound. And if you don't know the story already, I strongly suggest that you research him, because he's just an amazing, amazing person. And he was able to change things on a political level in the name of his fellow man through his actions. And he was the epitome of this quote. And another aspect of this is, if you want something in your life that is different from where you are right now, consider that the change has to start inside. And when you start going down this path, you'll realize that you might not be as optimistic as you thought you were. At least it was for me. I used to think I was an optimist because I was surrounded by negative people and I was always cheerful. But then once I was able to escape from the negative people, I realized it was like peeling onion layers, but there's an infinite number of layers, so that no matter how many times you dig deep and you try to get rid of all your crap and all your baggage and all your past stuff, there's still more you have to deal with. But the more you unveil all of these things, the better your reality is becoming. And it's this evolution. And so one of the things I wanted strongly was freedom. And now that I'm not working for a company anymore, I'm my own boss, and I make my own schedule. I keep my own hours. I do stuff when I want. I can go out to a restaurant right now if I wanted to. I'm literally speaking from my living room, and I'm spending more time with my family than I am with a bunch of negative people that I don't like. So keep going down that journey of intentionally being the person that will have that type of reality. So it's an ongoing thing. There is never an end to how far you can go with it.
Something to that, Latera? Because I think you
Sure,
hit on a beautiful magical point there.
Mhm.
I can attest to this being the change that you wish to see in the world, because when Latera, Patty, and a lot of us met, I was on the journey of, trying to prove that I could be successful, trying to prove that I can, bring awakening to the world, and I wanted to save people. And I was focused on the problem, not the solution. And I was trying to do it by the ego's power. And I didn't realize that until I really started, because my wife would tell me, Latera can tell you, she sat for hours talking to me. Patty, I mean, her and her husband, just, amazing, beautiful coaches that just sat there with us and they loved on us. You can have all the love and all the support that you want in the world, but if you do not address what is going on from the point of perspective of why you want to do what you do, I can tell you that the 2 tours that we went on, and all the hours and endless hours of volunteering and sharing and doing, because we gave and gave and gave and gave. But what Latera's talking about here is, be the change that you wish to see in the world, is not how much you do, it's how much you don't do.
Mhm.
And then you do. Because when you want to be the change, look what Gandhi did. Gandhi, like I know you don't want to go into the story about Gandhi, but Gandhi was a very a devotional being. He wasn't just somebody who just decided an idea and then take action on it. Because that's where a lot of our problem solvers are today. They just think of an idea and they want to take action on it. And there's a saying that I would love to introduce right now, is the Einstein quote that says, if you want to solve a problem, you can't solve a problem with the same level of mind or brain or perspective that created it. So when we want to solve a problem, it's okay, what is the perspective that I'm trying to change? Okay, why am I trying to change it? Then, okay, I find the problem of me wanting to change it. Then who do I need to change? Myself.
Mhm.
And then when you change yourself instead of the problem, you vibrate this change inside of you, that the actions that you take reverberate change without even doing anything. And
Exactly.
this is what I can attest to today, because I'm really not successful like in the world's eyes of what you think success is. But you don't know how many people follow up with us and they're like, they come back to us, they talk to us, and they say this, oh my gosh, Michael, like, my life has changed, my family has changed, And all because I did something that you told me a long time ago. And it's like, we didn't even have to work with these people. So the point is this, and I did a video on this earlier that I'm going to redo because I was kind of like in between my throat. But the video that I did is you don't have to reach a million. You don't have to be a speaker that reaches a million people. You could reach a million people by being the best version of yourself wherever you are. And that is what Gandhi really attested to. Because when people asked him how to do what he did, Gandhi said, just be a knight, just be kind, just be nice to yourself and share that to the world. Be kind to those around you. And Gandhi was a really, really testament to seeing everyone as the divine. And that's why, and that's what he changed when he did the thing with the salt. He didn't fight because he had, and this is the same thing with Jesus. They did their inner work where they knew it wasn't personal. These were the people's pains that were being put on them, but because they weren't in pain in themselves, they could turn around into love. And that's where the true power comes from of change is how much are you, which I know you're going to get into this, so excuse me, Latera, but how much do you love yourself? Because if you're trying to change the world because you think you're not good enough, and if that's where you're starting, that's okay. Start where you are. But really check yourself, because if you're not coming from a place of loving yourself and then sharing that overabundance, that overflow with others, then you're going to go into cycles and loops that you really could have avoided. And that's the maintenance, like Latera was talking about.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, a couple of good points there. I mean, one is you're absolutely 100% correct. You have to love yourself before you can learn how to love others, and you have to feel that love regardless of another entity. It has to just, you have to be able to experience the love without the other person being there. And the other thing is the ripple effect. Just one small act of kindness can keep rippling out, and through very small acts of kindness that, you know, people say, oh wow, that was really awesome, I'm gonna pay it forward. Then it keeps expanding outward, so you can reach millions of people even if they're not directly from you. Even if you're not affecting them directly, you can be affecting them indirectly through acts of kindness. And then they say, wow, this was awesome, I'm gonna go out and do my own acts of kindness. And you know, there was this cute commercial about that where, you know, it all started with one person passing a note in class, and it was really cute. But I digress. I love that. I love that that sentiment, though, that you can affect great change indirectly just through being you and being awesome. So thank you for that input. Wonderful. All right. Well, this is wrapping up, and I appreciate you all for your time. And I do want to invite you to an event coming up on January 23rd and 24th. That is the Quantum Manifestation Summit. Because as much as I've gone over today, this is barely scratching the surface of manifestation. We're going to have 10 amazing speakers over the course of 2 days, sharing their best manifestation techniques and their own personal journeys in manifestation. So I hope that you can attend. And if you do want to attend, I would like to offer you a bunch of bonuses for being here today. And that list is here on the screen. So if I can move these things out of the way here. So if you sign up today through my link, I will give you all of these things, the PDF of this slide deck, so you can go back through this and kind of have a review of everything we went over. You're going to have lifetime access to this recording as well, because if you go back and keep listening to it over and over again, it will sink into your subconscious and it will become more effortless to do these practices. You will also get access to the 6-minute body tuning video that I was referring to earlier, as well as my 30-minute financial abundance video. And in parentheses, I put and joy, because financial abundance is kind of like a side, like an afterthought almost, because the video is just, by the end of it, you're just in this blissful state. So I'm hoping that you can dive into this and get all of those goodies. And you can register at this link. And after I talk through this, I will also drop the link in the chat for you guys. So the early bird price is just $27. that gets you the 2 days into the summit and all the goodies I just walked through. And you can register at tinyurl.com/ATPS or ATP Summit. Sorry. So ATPS is capital. So tinyurl.com/ATP Summit. And this is, I'm hoping I don't lose you here because I don't want to make this too complicated. But once you register at that link, then forward me your email confirmation, and I will send you the link to the access all of those goodies. And that email address is idealmarketingssolutionsforyou@gmail.com. If that's too complicated, you can also just use my first and last name. So it's latara.dragoo@gmail.com. So either one of those will work. And let me see if we have any time left. Oh, wow. We're almost right on the dot. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to do one thing here before I do that. I'm going to go through the, I'm going to show you the screen of the summit. So this is the Quantum Manifestation Summit. It's a virtual 2-day event, January 23rd and 24th. And it's 9:30 to 1 p.m. Pacific. It's 12:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern. And these are all of the experts that will be speaking. And each one of them has their own area of expertise. So you can walk through this and you can click on each one of these people and it will show you like what they're all about and what their personal competency is.
Quick question.
So
If we can't be there for the whole time period, will there'll be a recording?
that is a very good question.
Because if we are purchasing, like we're paying for it, will we be able to get, because I know I still work during the day and the
okay.
hours.
So
that's
I don't know how, okay, yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know how long they're going to be available, but when you sign up, you will be invited to a Facebook group.
Mhm.
And the videos will be available inside of the Facebook group for
Okay.
an undisclosed amount of time. I wish I could tell you a more detailed how long it's going to be available, but yeah, the replays will be available for a certain amount of time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And one thing I forgot to mention was everybody here also has goodies and freebies and downloads and recordings of classes and programs and what have you. So every single speaker is going to have something that they will offer you when you sign up. So you're not only going to get my bonuses, but you're going to get all of their bonuses as well. All right. And any other questions?
And Latara, your scan code worked. So
wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful.
It worked, and I was able to sign up there.
Perfect. Does anybody else need to see that screen again so they can scan it with their phone?
No, got it.
No. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Patty. That was a very good point. I'm glad that you tested that, because that's one of the things I'm always telling people is test your links, make sure they work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, I have to run. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you all. Enjoy
Thank you
your
so much for
day.
being here.
And we'll hopefully see you. It's funny enough, the day that you're having your event is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Well, happy early birthday.
So we'll see you on my birthday.
Wonderful. I'm looking
Okay.
forward to seeing you there. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for being here today.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.